You know, to govern is to choose. And it's what a government chooses to do when it's tested that demonstrates its priorities and reveals its heart. And it's not the arithmetic of statistics, but the fabric of people's lives. You know, when we talk about 3 million more people in work since 1997, that's not just a number, that's a life that's been changed 3 million times over. That's a young woman laid off in the mid-90s who's now built a booming business of her own. 3 million new jobs, not by accident, but by our actions. And in the years to come, we will demonstrate again the real power of labour to change people's lives. You know, when we talk about the 1 million small and medium-sized businesses, 1 million set up in the last 11 years, that's not just a number. That's the entrepreneur who can treat her parents to a summer holiday. It's the local businessman who's taken on 2 local teenagers as apprentices. 1 million new businesses, demonstrating again the real power of labour to change people's lives. And when we talk about 1 million people benefiting from New Labour's minimum wage, that's not just a number, that's a dad doing security shifts who can now afford a birthday party for his child. It's a mum who doesn't have to go to a loan shark to pay for her kids' Christmas. 1 million people freed from exploitation, and now with the minimum wage rising year on year, that's the real power of labour to change lives. And you know, when we talk about the 240,000 lives that are saved by the progress Labour's NHS has made in fighting cancer and heart disease, that's not just a number. That's the dad who lives to walk his daughter up the aisle. It's the gran who is there to clap and cry at her grandson's graduation. 240,000 families still together, and now thousands more with new and better treatments from an expanding NHS. We're changing the world the only way it can really ever change. One life, one family, one hope at a time. That's the real power of Labour to change lives. And why? And why do we always strive for fairness? Not because it makes good sound bites, not because it gives good photo opportunities, not because it makes for good PR. No, we do it because fairness is in our DNA. It's who we are. It's what we're for. It's why Labour exists. It's our first instinct. It's the soul of our party. It's why when things get tough, we get tougher. We stand and we fight hard for fairness. We don't give in, and we never will. And you know, for me, fairness is treating others how we would be treated ourselves. So it isn't levelling down, it's empowering people to aspire and reach ever higher, and to take advantage of all the opportunities of the global economy. I want to unleash in this country a new wave of rising social mobility across our country. You know, for too long, we've developed only some of the talents of some people, but the modern route to social mobility is developing all the talents of all the people. And that's helping those who are working their way up from very little. It's lifting up those in the middle who want to get on. It means supporting what really matters: hard work, effort, and enterprise. This is not just the new economic necessity. It's the modern test of social justice. It's the radical centre ground we occupy and we will expand. And fairness is why Harriet Harman is introducing the first ever Equalities Bill. And let me thank her for her tireless work as Deputy Leader of our party. Fairness is why Ed Miliband is ensuring that community and third sector organisations can play their proper part in every neighbourhood of our country. And it's why our whole party is leading the fight against the British National Party. And fairness is why John Denham is extending university access, why Ruth Kelly has introduced for the first time free bus travel for pensioners, why John Hutton and our Labour members of the European Parliament, whom we want re-elected, are fighting to free agency workers from the scourge of exploitation. But fairness for the future also means a big change that I want to explain today. We have always stood for public services that are universal and available to all. Now we must stand for public services that are not only universal and available to all, but personal to each. And for me, the fairer future starts with putting children first. The biggest investment in the country's history in children that we have ever seen. In 1997, you know, there were no Sure Start centres and nursery education for only the few. Today, with Beverly Hughes leading as Children's Minister, there are children's centres opening in every community in our country to serve 3 million children, and there is now free nursery education for 3- and 4-year-olds. But our ambitions must be greater. Children's services tailored to the needs of every child. And I want Britain to take its place among the leading nations in preschool services. So I pledge here today in Manchester that starting in over 30 communities and then over 60, we will stage by stage extend free nursery places for 2-year-olds to every parent who wants them in every part of the country. And we will back that and that will be backed by high-quality, affordable childcare for all. That's the fairness parents want, and that's the fairness every Labour Party member will go out and fight for. And because child poverty demeans Britain, we have committed our party to tackle and to end it. The measures we have taken this year alone will help lift 250,000 children out of poverty. The economic times are tough, of course. That makes things harder. But we are in this for the long haul, the complete elimination of child poverty by 2020. And so today, I announce my intention to introduce groundbreaking legislation to enshrine in the law of the land Labour's pledge to end child poverty. And Ed Balls and I will never excuse, explain away or tolerate low standards in education. So we will keep up the pace of reform, more academies, trust and specialist schools, more of the brightest and best graduates becoming teachers, more investment in building schools for the future, state-of-the-art schools for world-class schooling. And fairness demands nothing less than excellence in every school for every child. So today I guarantee to parents 2 fundamental rights, because every child should leave primary school able to read, write and count. Any child who falls behind will not be left behind, but now will have a new guaranteed right to personal catch-up tuition.